Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bushcraft Family here, and today I'm doing a little bit of different video. Still talking about shortages, but it's not going to be so much as food shortages, but it does kind of coincide with the food shortages, and I'll let you know as we go on with this video. Now I made a post on my community tab saying that there were shortages of filters, air filters for your furnaces and things. And this was just word of mouth, what I had gotten from my local Walmart, the manager, and she's never steered me wrong for information and stuff like that. Wouldn't say we're really good friends. We talk every once in a while when I see her and whatnot. And I was looking for an air filter for my furnace because I have cats, so that means I have to change my air filters quite a bit. So I was looking around and I just couldn't find them. And I found one section where it had the real expensive ones. And I'm not going to do the real expensive ones because, again, I said I have cats. And it just doesn't make sense that way. But anyway, I seen her walk by and I flagged her down and said, is this all the air filters you have? And she said, no, these ones, they had a weird way of separating them or anything, but there was another section and there was only one of my certain size. And I said, do you know when you're going to get any more? And she had her little handheld device that they track when shipments are coming in from what items and things like that. And she looked it up and said, well, it says here that they're not going to, there's an attachment on it. Said the plant is shutting down production on those filters. And I asked why, and she said it was because of the materials. That's all she knew about it or whatnot. And I asked how long. They didn't give her any information other than that. So I said, okay. And I got the one that they had there. And so after I posted it here on my community tab, I started doing a little bit more digging into this. And, well, let's go ahead and switch over here. Let's make sure it goes over. Now, before we get too much into the air filters situation, I'm going to go through some other things like Ford to suspend production on Friday at Mexico plant material shortages. And this is just not in Mexico where they're doing this. They've shut down all plants to maybe a small, slow crawl, if that, because of materials and whatnot. And it goes on saying they shut down because of, again, the chips and things like that. Earlier this month, Ford said it would suspend production on its Flat Rock, Michigan plant and at its parts of its Kansas City, Missouri plant. So like I said, it is all over. And that it's just not your cars or whatnot. We'll go down to this one. This is the major one. This is the one that we have to pay attention to. This is, as you can see, it's from paints to plastics to chemical shortages. And Yeah, prices are going to go through the roof on a lot of this stuff. Now, you start thinking about, um, look around right now. Everything that's around you, um, for plastic. We'll go plastic, and it could be from all different types of things, throughout your whole house. Okay, say something breaks down. Say we get another freeze or something like that, and your pipes bust. Well, PVC is, one of the plastics that is, a major shortage right now. So you're gonna sit there and think of all the stuff that's around you. If something breaks, that's real important. Um, is does any of that have plastic or any chemical? And you would be surprised how much we rely on just plastic in our lives. From the food we get from containers, the the plastic bags that we get our bread and our the wraps the meat in, and things like that. You'd be really surprised. And not that one little gnat that never leaves me alone. Get okay. So, you sit there and think of all that, all the packaging materials for our food, and that's also driving the price of our food up. Not only are we have the shortage of food, but we're having the shortage of the packaging of that food. Now I know for a fact that, the plastic bottles that are soda or juice and stuff, they have raised their prices on that because they have a shortage of resin. You can come down here a bit. Yeah, polychloride or PVC pipes used, and medical devices, credit cards, vinyl rep, vinyl records, and more has rocketed 70%. It has gone up 70%. 70% of the price. So that means on down the line, on down the line, on down the line until it gets to us, and buck stops there, where they're going to raise the price on everything that is packaged by plastic. Um, and it and that's not the only thing. It's anything that does with chemicals and everything. As you can see, here's, from food packaging to antifreeze to polyester has surged 43% according to, ICIS, whatever that is. But, um, what they're also saying, that in 18 months, if things are not fixed, there will not be any of that, the resin or chemicals or anything left for us, basically. So we have basically 18 months of supplies, and that all that stuff is going to go skyrocket high between those 18 months. So if things are not fixed by 18 months, they will not have the chemicals or, the plastic, the resins, or anything for production for this stuff. And one of the places hit hard with this is, air filters. And right now, they're from what I'm from what I gathered from a few sites that I've been on. They stopped production on, um, the home use filters and things like that. The ones we use for, um, our furnaces and things like that, so that they can convert all that over to these filters that they're using for hospitals and schools and grocery stores and everything that the federal government is required now because of the the bug that's going around, as you may know. So they're putting all their production in that because they are running out of those filters, and they just don't have enough to provide filters for hospitals and things. So what's that mean for us? Not only we're not going to have our filters for various things, but what would be the government's play on this if said hospital had to shut down because they don't have filters for their their air and things for at the hospital? Would they shut down? Would the government make them shut down because they don't have the filters? Same thing with the grocery stores or your restaurants or anything that requires these HEPA filters or whatever they're called, MERV 13 filters or whatever they're called. I don't know, but because it's supposed to be the thing, it's supposed to clean the air so that the CV stuff doesn't get to you. So if those are not available for those businesses or the hospitals or whatever the case may be, will they shut down? So maybe we're not going to be able to go to the hospital because they don't have a filter to clean the air out, or who knows. I'm not sure how they would go about it, but and the next thing is there are chips. There's a major shortage of chips right now, so much that there's no new cars because they don't have chips to put them in. And if you do find those new cars that have chips, they're marking it up so high that it's just ridiculous on the prices of this thing. And that's not only your automobiles, your cell phones, computers. There's so much stuff that is ran by chips and things, from industrial air cleaners to heaters to all kinds of electrical things. There's so much into these chip things now. It's outrageous. So that's why I figured I'll do this video. So the main thing that I wanted to get out was with them saying we only have 18 months. And within those 18 months, we're going to see a lot of closures of these plants because they don't have the resources, and mostly the chemicals, the plastics, and things like that. So say a lot of bread companies are going to be shutting down because they may have the wheat and stuff like that, the flour or whatnot, but they don't have ways to package it. So some say, well, why don't we just go back to paper and stuff? Well, guess what? Paper is a shortage right now also because of wood and things like that. So how are we going to package this stuff? Metal's another thing. The tin for the tin cans and things, aluminum for soda to your canned foods and things like that. All this we got less than 18 months of materials. And then within those 18 months, you're going to see a lot of places shut down because they don't have the materials to run. So that means we're going to have to start thinking of ways to producing our own food. And one way is gardening. So it's something to think about. It's really getting to, and another thing everybody will start telling me about recycling. The process of recycling is very slow because they have to, there's a cleaning process and this and that, and it has to run through a certain thing. And during the recycling, which it's a good thing, but during the recycling thing, you actually lose a percentage of the product. So that's another thing, but it's a long process. And I haven't dug into the whole recycling, how are they doing during all this and stuff like that. But the main thing is we have to start thinking about of ways when we're not getting this food from the stores and things. How are we going to get our food? Things like that. So it's something to think about. Until I think that's about all I'm gonna, because I don't like doing my videos way long. But until next time, guys. Like always, God bless.